This story is about a certain monastery that had fallen upon hard times. Once it was a great order, but after a while it started to decay as more and more monks left and new ones did not join. Part of the problem is that the 5 monks who were left bickered at each other a lot and weren't very kind. And so they were sad, and their sadness turned into anxiety and fear because they loved the order and they knew that once the 5 of them died, there would be no one left to take care of the monastery they loved so much. In the woods surrounding this monastery, there was a little cabin that a rabbi from a nearby town would often use as a retreat. And the monks always knew when the rabbi was there. They'd say, "The rabbi's in the woods. The rabbi's in the woods again." Again, they would tell each other. So during this time, the abbot was worried about what was going to happen to his beloved monastery. So when he heard that the rabbi was retreating in the house in the woods, he decided to visit and see if the rabbi could offer him some advice. The rabbi was very happy to see the abbot and welcomed him into the hut. But when the abbot explained the purpose of his visit, the rabbi could only commiserate with him. "Yes, I know how it is," he said. "The spirit has gone out of the people. It is the same in my town. Almost no one comes to synagogue anymore." So the old abbot and the old rabbi wept together. Then they read parts of the Torah and quietly spoke of deep things. When the time came for the abbot to leave, they embraced one another. "It has been a wonderful thing that we have talked after all these years," the abbot said. "But is there nothing you can tell me, no piece of advice you could give me to help me save my dying order?" "No, I'm sorry," the rabbi responded. "I have no advice to give you." But then the rabbi paused and quietly said to the abbot, "But there is one thing I have to tell you. One of you is the Messiah." When the abbot returned to the monastery, his fellow monks gathered around him and asked, "Well, what did the rabbi say?" "He couldn't help. We just wept and read the Torah together. The only thing he did say, just as I was leaving, is that one of us is the Messiah. Maybe it's something from Jewish mysticism. I don't know what he meant." In the days and weeks and months that followed, the old monks began to think about this and wondered whether the rabbi's words could actually be true. The Messiah is one of us? Could he possibly have meant one of the monks here at the monastery? If that's the case, who is it? Do you suppose he meant the abbot? Well, sure, if he meant anyone, he probably meant the father abbot. He has been our leader for more than a generation. On the other hand, he might have meant Brother Thomas. Brother Thomas is a holy man, and everyone knows that Thomas is a man of light. Certainly he could not have meant Brother Jonathan. Jonathan gets crotchety at times. But come to think of it, even though he's a thorn in people's sides, when you look back, Jonathan is virtually always right, or at least often right. Maybe the rabbi did mean Brother Jonathan. Surely not Brother Philip. Philip is so passive. People hardly ever notice when he's around, although he almost mysteriously has a gift for somehow always being there when you need him. He just magically appears by your side. Could Philip be the Messiah? Of course the rabbi didn't mean, me. He couldn't possibly have meant me. I'm just an ordinary person. Yet supposing he did, suppose I am the Messiah. As all the monks contemplated in this way, the old monks began to treat each other with extraordinary respect, on the off chance that one of them might actually be the Messiah. And on the off chance that each monk himself might be the Messiah, they began to treat themselves with extraordinary respect. Because the monastery was situated in a beautiful forest, it so happened that people occasionally came to visit the monastery to picnic on its tiny lawn, to wander along some of its beautiful paths, and every now and then to go into the dilapidated chapel to meditate. And so they did this without even being conscious of it, because they had sensed this aura of extraordinary respect that now began to surround the 5 old monks, and it seemed to radiate out of them and permeate the atmosphere of the entire monastery and the grounds. There was something strangely attractive and even compelling about it. Hardly knowing why, people began to come back to the monastery more and more frequently to picnic, to play, to pray. They began to bring their friends to show them this special place, and their friends brought their friends. Then it happened that some of the younger men who came to visit the monastery started to talk more and more with the older monks. And after a while, one asked if he could join them, then another and another. It happened that within a few years, the monastery had once again become a thriving order, and thanks to the rabbi's gift, a vibrant center of kindness and generosity.